Okay, so I said there's two ways to do holes. We saw how to do one way by putting in centers in a sketch and then having the hole command create our holes for us. But you can also create a hole without having center points. And this is new to Inventor. I'm not sure what version it was, maybe 2009 or 2010. But anyway, you can place the holes by using the linear placement option. And when you click on that, you get some new options in your dialog box. You get the reference 1 and reference 2 options. Let's first click the reference 1 arrow and click on the edge. Click on the edge. Oops, we first need to click the face. Alright, let's click the face first. There's the face we want to use. And let's cancel this. Let's start from the top. The hole command, click the hole command, choose the placement being linear. We're first clicking on the face option, choosing this face, that's where we want the hole to go. Also, this hole is bigger. Let's control that before we choose the placement. This hole is 3/4 of an inch, 0.75. So let's control that. And our termination is actually a distance this time. It's only an inch deep. So for our termination, let's make sure that we're showing 1 inch deep. Okay, now let's control where this hole is actually going to go on this particular face. So click on the arrow by reference 1 and let's click this left edge of that face, and we want the center of that hole to be 1.5 inches over from that edge. And then let's click the arrow by reference 2 and click the bottom edge, and we want this to be 1 inch up from the bottom edge. And then we can pick apply, and done. And now let's use our view cube to swing this thing around. Notice that hole doesn't go all the way through, that it terminates. You terminated it, you terminator. So it only goes in 1 inch deep, and that's what we wanted. So you see there were two different ways to do the holes. You can provide a sketch where you put in points that the model tab can recognize and put a feature in called a hole, or you can just use it, put in a hole by using the linear placement option. Alright, so we've pretty much finished this part. Let's look at a couple of other options in Inventor that we could tweak. Let's use the View tab of the ribbon, and let's choose a different visual style. Right now we're using the shaded visual style, but let's use a wireframe with hidden edges. No, let's use a shaded with hidden edges. And by doing that, we can actually see the hidden edges inside, and by clicking on the front view of the right side view of the view cube, we can actually see how that hole, that bottom hole we just created, doesn't go all the way through, and we see the point of that hole. A couple other things we could check is we could check on the hole. Let's say we wanted to make that hole flat instead of pointed. So what I want to do is right click on hole 2, and I want to edit the feature. That hole is actually called a feature. And right now you see there's an option in the hole 2 dialog box for a drill point. We could play with the angle. We could make it a different angle if we wanted to. Let's say 135 degrees. And let's look at that now. You can see it's probably not big enough of a difference to notice. Let's try it one more time. Edit feature. 180 is too much. 165. Okay, now you can see a distinct difference in the point for that particular hole. Let's also edit it so it's not a point. Let's have it so that it's a square or a flat point instead of an angled point. And and there you can see the difference. Later on we're going to do some more exercises that goes further in depth with the hole command. But let's reset that to where it was. Edit feature. We want a drill point at 118 degrees. Why 118 degrees? I think that's pretty much a standard for many of our drill bits that we use. One other thing we could do, we could change the material. Right now it's kind of a drab gray. I think they call that default material. I'm just clicking on the As Material option at the very top of the Inventor window, and you see you get a lot of different options, a lot of different colors. If you wanted to choose, say, copper, you can see what a copper material would look like. So that's something to experiment with also when you're using Inventor. But if your drawing looks like this, your part looks like this, I should say, you've been successful in completing this introductory assignment.